Hello, I hope you're doing well. We are looking at decimals and fractions and placing them proportionally on a number line. It's going to be similar to last week when you put the numbers in order. So the order doesn't change from least to greatest. What's going to change is where exactly they fall on a number line based on the other numbers around them. So if we think about this, 3/10 can also be written as a fraction. 6/10 and 8/10 are already written as a fraction. 5/10 can also be written as a fraction. So if we have our number line, we have our 0 and our 1. Well, if we break this up into tenths, so we would say, well, 3/10, 1, 2, 3/10, 5/10, which is 1/2, 6/10, and 8/10. Now what was nice about those is those numbers were friendly, where we were allowed to make them friendly. That does not always happen. Let's look at another way we could look at it, where we look at it as the decimal in relationship to the whole number. So here we're looking at 2/10, 35 hundredths, 52 hundredths, and 7/10. Now, we could make those all into hundredths, but I don't know if I would want to take a bar and break all these into 100. But what's neat is, let's think for a second. We know that 25 hundredths is the same as 1/4. We know 5/10 is the same as 1/2. We know 75 hundredths is the same as 3/4. So let's use those as our anchors, okay? So, remember, 1/4, 2/4, which is also 1/2. So if we went to put this in, let's just put this in for a second. 25 hundredths. 5/10 are 50 hundredths. 75 hundredths. Because now, let's come back. 2/10 is the same as 20 hundredths. Isn't 20 hundredths pretty close to 25 hundredths? So isn't that where 2/10 would be? Again, because we're using our anchors to help us. And then we could say, well, we know that 35 hundredths is going to be closer to 25 hundredths than it is to 50 hundredths, right? So a little bit closer. 52, oh, that's going to be so close to 50 hundredths. 52 hundredths. And then over here we have 7/10, which is the same as, 7/10 is the same as 70 hundredths. So when you have situations like this where the numbers are in the hundredths or just different numbers, I highly encourage you to go back to anchors and let 25 hundredths, which is 1/4, 50 hundredths, and 75 hundredths. Because what's that allowing you to do is it's allowing you to take your number line and have anchors on your number line. So again, those anchors are between 0 and 1, so then you'd have your 50 hundredths, your 25 hundredths, and your 75 hundredths. That should help guide you. Again, as you play around with it, you may come up with your own strategy. Maybe you realize, Mr. Harrison, I like doing it with eighths, or maybe I like doing it with thirds. Whatever works for you, but I personally think this can be very helpful. And if you have any questions, please ask. Thank you.